Welcome, everyone, to episode number 66 of the BINPodcast. And today we are here without Isaiah, but it's okay because we still got some podcast content coming for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some great topics to talk about today, and we have just amazing topics. So let's first off, let's introduce our guest today, or not a guest, I'm sorry, our co host today. We got Hayden and we got B Hub. We'll start off with B Hub.
Hello.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I just woke up like 25 minutes ago from a nap. Feel really re-energized, and I'm ready to talk about some sports.
Cool. Hayden, how are you doing today?
I'm depressed and offended. I'm offended because you called us a guest, me and B Hub, and I'm depressed, and you'll find out why.
So, obviously, we have a Packers fan here today. You guys might know some news, but we'll wait for later. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we got NFL signings,
We got
maybe some
MLB too.
MLB signings. So, we got a lot to discuss. So, let's first start off with the not the smaller signings, but some other signings that happened outside of our team. So, Hayden, take us through some of the signings that happened this week.
The LA Dodgers signed Freddie Freeman.
No way.
Yeah.
6 years.
What a.
Woo!
Okay, I have a question for you. First things first, how do you feel about it? How do y'all feel about this? Because we all know Isaiah's happy as fuck.
And do you want to go first, sir?
I
I think you're
saw the
done.
video from our friend QC. Don't mind me at all.
What do you
But
say?
Okay.
What do you say? What do you say?
he sent the video of his whole family saying hi to me. So hilarious.
That is godly. Shout out to QC.
But nah, but on a serious note, Freddie Freeman, man. I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, you got a guy who's just been a consistent first baseman. Especially as I get more into the sport of baseball, he's been one of the best human beings in the sport. And seeing him go to LA, it might be championship time. They got a crazy lineup. You got Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, him,
Yeah.
Max Muncy, Chris Taylor, Gavin Lux, who's really good as well. Just a lot of talent on the Dodgers team. I mean, it's crazy. They got some Cy Young candidates. I mean, you could say Julio Urias is one, Walker Bueller, who's been amazing. So, I mean, they brought back the old reliable Clayton Kershaw. Well, not reliable because he's been hurt, but they brought
Yeah.
back the OG Clayton Kershaw. So, I mean, the Dodgers, they're going to have a fun year. They'll have a fun year, another year to try to chase a championship. And I think this Freddie Freeman signing is really going to benefit the Dodgers. Got a good first baseman who's won a championship to add to that championship pedigree you already have. So, great signing from LA, one of the best first basemen we've seen in the recent years. So, great signing.
Yeah, it is. What a great signing. Is happy. I'm happy for Dodgers fans because this is a great signing for them because you get like one of the best first basemen in the whole league, and B you add to what that stack team already is like. That's just mind blowing how stacked that lineup is. Now, B, how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. I was wrong about this happening because Isaiah kept calling it, and I was like, you know what? There's no way he's gonna go back to the Braves and they're gonna have another run. But no, he goes back home to LA on a very, I'll say, favorable contract for both sides, and they're back where they were before. They could win another title like they did in the bubble baseball season in 2020, and they got to win it all.
Was that really a bubble though? Because like there was games in Milwaukee like that year
I
and
mean,
shit.
it was a bubble. Yeah, it basically was. It was a bubble. Yeah, you could say it
I
was.
just want to say this. I find it ironic that both LA teams won in a bubble and they can't do it outside.
I didn't say it.
I said it. I'm just
I did
saying.
not say it.
I'm not going to discredit it. Both teams won it fair and square. I'm not going to discredit it, but I just find it ironic.
Hey, who knows? Who knows, bruh?
And
But
and follow up to this, since we're on the
mm-hmm,
Dodgers and we don't have to leave them yet.
mm-hmm.
Is this the best like current like modern day lineup you have ever seen? Like we'll ever see? And if so, how do you think they'll win it all?
See, I haven't been watching baseball, or hold on, let me change that. I've been watching baseball for like a while, but I haven't been like a diehard baseball fan for that long,
Mm-hmm.
especially not as long as some people that might be watching this. But I don't think so, especially, I mean, obviously we weren't alive for like the Murderers Row or Yankees or any
Yeah.
teams like that, but I don't know, man. I feel like there has to be a better lineup I've seen. Now I can't name one at the top of my head. I haven't been a diehard baseball fan until like last season, but I definitely think it's definitely some lineups that I definitely can look at and say they were better. But this is a great lineup. This is a great lineup. I love it. I love this lineup. You got you just got a lot of great players on this lineup. Like I said, the guys I mentioned are just amazing. And obviously B Hub knows Mookie Betts is he can be a
Your guy.
god, 2-time World Series champ already. So and you
What
got
a
other
great
guys. I mean,
line.
Mookie's it's a reason why Mookie Betts is one of my favorite, if not my favorite players in the league. And him with these guys, I'm just happy as a fan of him to definitely have a great team like this. But B Hub, you've been a baseball historian longer than all of us. Is this the greatest modern day lineup, or is this just hype?
Wait, wait,
It's a
wait,
lot
wait,
of
wait, wait.
hype.
I'm sorry to cut you off. We got breaking news in the MLB actually. Source: free agent shortstop Carlos Correa has reached an agreement with the Minnesota Twins on a 3-year deal worth $105 million, with
Okay,
opt-outs after the first two.
okay,
First ever
all right,
breaking news that'll probably be on the podcast ever because we record so late at night.
okay,
But
all
I
right.
just wanted to say that. Be up. You know everything about the contract. Let's finish this Freddie Freeman and then move on to what just happened.
It's definitely, in my opinion, the best lineup that is in baseball right now. On paper,
Yeah.
but you got to see it perform. But the Dodgers are looking scary as always.
Oh yeah.
Spending all that money, they're definitely in the luxury tax. So they just go all in every year, trade their prospects and stuff because they develop very well in their minor league systems. And the Dodgers have another chance of winning it all again.
Now be up.
hmm
What do you think of that contract that I just broke down?
I think it's a win-win for both because I honestly did not expect him going to the Twins. But if you don't remember, the Twins traded their shortstop to the Yankees a few days ago after acquiring him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's a great contract. I didn't think anyone would pretty much go to the Twins besides Byron Buxton coming back because they just traded Donaldson.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a great contract. They needed to fill a hole there at shortstop. And hey, the Twins are looking pretty good.
Yeah,
Be
it
up.
seems like it was on their roster,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like Carlos Correa to the Twins, that's kind of odd.
That is.
Like,
I
that's
did
kind
not
of
expect
odd.
that. Like,
I mean, for a second, it was his name was kind of quiet. I thought he was about to go back to Houston because no one was talking
yeah,
about
I
him.
did too.
Everyone was talking about the Freddie Freeman, where he's gonna go, and other guys, or
My
Chris
guy,
Bryant.
Chris
But
Bryant. Chris Bryant
it's
going to the where Rockies, if I believe.
Colorado Rockies, which
yeah.
I think Hayden, if you could talk about this, we'll get to that next. But your thoughts on Correa?
I like it. I like the contract. It's a good way because something that I didn't mention. There's an opt out in year 2 and 3, I believe. There's an opt out as well. So that's good.
Okay,
So if he's not performing to their liking, they say, okay, bye bye.
or if he doesn't want to be there, if they're not winning, then he can one out. But as I was preparing for before this news, Chris Bryant signed a deal with the Colorado Rockies worth up to 182 million. Chris Bryant in Coors Field, he got the bag. He's gonna get the home runs. B Hub, how do you feel about this?
The Rockies. He went to the Rockies. After the last year, they've gotten rid of pretty much everyone. They have no pitching. It's just been destroyed. Pretty much all they had left was Charlie Blackmon and some prospects, and they can never keep the pitching prospects because they don't like pitching in Coors Field. But this is a perfect place for a hitter to go.
Yeah.
He got the bag. And one other thing, real quick, about the Correa stuff. He's doing it so he can hit the market again. That's what he's doing, so he can get more money. But Hey, good move for Chris Bryant. Get the bag. I don't expect them to compete, but get your stats.
And
Yeah, Charlie Blackman's the only like all-star level player that they even have other that they have on their team other than Trevor Story, but he's gone, and
Hey, he
Charlie
might be a
Blackman
Red
hasn't
Sox.
signed yet, but there's rumors with him
it
too,
might
so
be
we'll
a
talk about
red
that
sox.
later. But
Beaver's like, yes.
um, Chris Bryant,
Yes.
I mean, Coors Field
Yeah.
if you're a fantasy baseball player like I will be this year, Chris Bryant is you need to definitely definitely you want to pick him up for some home runs. Also, if you're a sports bettor and you do baseball bets, you might want to bet on his home runs because
Yeah.
he might be, I won't say top 3 in home runs, but he'll definitely be like top 10, at least top 15 at home
I'm
runs this
going
year.
top 7.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Hey,
He isn't field, so
my hot
but
take
we'll see
this
what
year is
happens.
looking correct, so I'm just saying.
But my only thing with Chris Bryant, he went from a Giants team who looks like they could make the playoffs again this year and made the playoffs last year to the Rockies. How much do you want to win? Because you just left the Cubs, who weren't a winning organization. So
Except for one
that's
year.
kind of confusing to me a little
And
bit.
then they traded everyone away during the deadline.
Oh,
So I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get
I
it
don't get.
either. I don't either. But hey, that I just find it funny. The Dodgers still got to face KB. They still got to face Chris Bryant. So I'm
Mm,
just saying, I like the move for the Rockies. He gets someone to basically help sell tickets. I think that's what the move. Like, be
mm.
honest, I do not see this Rockies team going to the playoffs. I think in 2018 when we fucking swept them, we shook them. Like,
And their management sucks.
I
Their
mean,
management sucks.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking at Chris Bryant's stats right now. I mean, he coming off a season with 25 home runs. That's gonna get bumped up to 30, bro, at
Probably.
least. He was batting
Didn't Yelich
265.
win MVP with 25 home runs before?
Huh?
Oh, how many home runs did Yelich have when he won MVP?
I don't know,
Was it up
but
in the 30s?
Chris Bryant had 25 home runs at playing at the Giants Stadium. Batted 265. I expect that to go up maybe to 275, 280. He had 136 hits. I had expect that to go up to like 150 because he's playing in Coors Field, bro.
Yeah, he's playing there.
He's playing in Coors Field, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like 136 hits, that can easily get bumped up. His batting average, his home runs, all his hitting stats are about to get bumped up, bro. His on plate percentage, on base
Yeah.
percentage, whatever you want, bro. He got it because he's with Colorado, bro. He's at probably the easiest ballpark for hitters in all of baseball.
Mm.
So I get the move as far as you're gonna get stats. You're gonna be like the flashy player on the team, I guess. But winning wise, I just don't understand why Chris Bryant went to a team who I don't think will be winning. I don't think we'll be winning soon, but who knows?
MG.
But also too, um, we have some other signings here. Just a quick ones. You got Clayton Kershaw going back
Back
to the
home.
Dodgers.
Mm.
You
I like
got
it.
Kenley Jansen, the Dodgers closer, one of
Going.
the more notable closers in
Isn't
the
he?
league, going to Atlanta.
Ooh.
You
Didn't
got
Atlanta trade for a guy too?
Matt Olson. I was just about to bring that up. Matt Olson is also going to Atlanta. The A's also traded away Matt Chapman. The Yankees got Josh Donaldson. They traded away Gio Urshela and Gary Sanchez. So a lot of stuff went down this week. So those
Now
are just some other stuff we didn't bring up.
let's talk about
But
our teams now.
yes, yes,
MG,
yes.
guess what?
What?
The Brewers actually did something. The
Talk
Brewers
about it.
signed Andrew McClutchin. I'm giving him a nickname already. McClutchin, because he's going to be clutch for us.
I thought he was
To
butchering his name. That's why I shook my head.
what?
Let me set the scene real quick. He didn't even know who he was.
And
He
that's right.
didn't know who he was.
You're not wrong. But we signed Andrew McClutchin to a 1 year, 85 mil. McCutcheon, this is a great signing for us. 35 years old, a good bet who can still swing it when we need it, and yet we get him for 85 mil in this league. That's pretty gosh darn good, if I gotta say so myself. And it's just 1 year, so basically, if he's not doing good, we can be like, we don't need you, because we still
I,
got Yelich. Hopefully, he can be good.
I think he's good. He was just hurt last year.
You got Willie Adames, who like gave us fucking something to look forward to. You got Lorenzo Kane still. You still got a great pitching duo with Woodruff, Hader, and fucking
Corbin Burns.
No. Cy
Williams.
Young. No. Cy Young winner. Corbin Burns. Out.
Now, I put this headband because I want to say shout out to Andrew McCutcheon. He was one of the funnest players to watch on the Phillies, bro. I love Andrew McCutcheon. His energy was just
Hey, his
unmatched.
prime with the Pirates.
McClutch. McClutch.
I just gotta say, if you y'all gotta watch his MVP season when he was with the Pirates.
With the
He was
Pirates.
insane
Fuck him for that MVP
in his
season.
prime.
Killed
He's
us.
a multiple-time All-Star. He's
Fucking killed us
McCutcheon.
that MVP
Not
season.
at his peak
Fuck
anymore, but he still provides a lot of energy. Great locker room personality. Can hit the bat in clutch moments. I think this is a good signing for the Brewers. If Christian Yelich can go back to 80% of his MVP form, the Brewers can have a decent lineup.
Imagine this starting hitting. You have Lorenzo Kane tipping it off, who can still swing it. You have Yelich, McCutcheon, and then Adames.
It's a decent lineup. Decent
That's
start off
pretty
to the
good.
lineup.
For the Brewers, we have not had a good hitting lineup since 2019 when we had Yelich before he got hurt, like when he was on pace to win another MVP. Moustakis, Grandal,
Mhm.
and
Now,
Lorenzo Kane as well.
I want to say, like McCutcheon, he did have the most efficient year when it comes to percentage. He only batted 222, but like I said, it's the clutch bats that mattered for
Like I
McCutcheon.
said,
in my opinion.
McClutch.
I think, and he, like I said, his energy in the locker room was just great. And like I said, he's not as efficient as he once was. You know, he's not batting in the 300s anymore like he was in his prime. But McCutcheon, bro, he gonna be good. He gonna be good.
Hey,
But
did you
B-Hub,
just say McClutchin?
Hayden keeps trying to run this name, bro.
I'm gonna get this name to stick, okay?
All right. Well, you enjoy. But
I
B-Hub, did the Red Sox do anything? And if so, what did they do?
We got a lot of older pitchers on 1-year contracts. We pretty much stayed the same because JD Martinez opted in. That's a lot of money. Xander Bogaerts opted in, so this is the last years of their contracts. We got a lot of bullpen guys like Hansel Robles, who was, I believe, with us for the last half of the season last year. We brought him back, which is a good arm to have. We have Matt Barnes still in the bullpen. Not the god of the NBA, Matt Barnes, the one who faked out Kobe Bryant, but we got the pitching, Matt Barnes. We pretty much stayed put, but we're in the race to get Trevor Story right now. And if we pull that off, imagine this lineup: Kike Hernandez, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts. Xander Bogaerts is probably going to go to second base. You'll put Trevor Story, JD Martinez, Alex Verdugo, Bobby Dahlback,
Yeah.
Jackie Bradley for the defense.
Fuck you. I don't want to talk about. Oh yeah, I forgot to
Thank
mention
you for
too.
the prospect.
I forgot to mention too. We also have Hunter Renfro hitting for us as well.
Oh,
Totally
Thank you for
forgot.
the prospect.
Hey, thank you for Renfro.
I'll take the prospects.
Bro, I wish we had both Hunter Renfros, but we'll get into that later.
Now. I got to introduce to you to the best team in free agency.
Funny joke. You're not the
The
Dodgers.
team who had one of the best free agencies this season. Maybe not the best. Who knows?
One of, but not the
Who
best.
cares? The Philadelphia Phillies went out and they built a great lineup around the MVP, Bryce Harper. Ladies and gentlemen,
Mr. Two-time MVP.
Two-time. Get it right,
now
MG. You're not a true Philly fan.
NL MVP, Bryce Harper. He won MVP last year. We didn't even make the playoffs. Didn't even scratch the surface of the playoffs. Didn't do anything.
Hey,
Not even a wild card. We
Hey,
did nothing.
Hey,
Right?
B-Hub, imagine not making
What?
the playoffs last year. Couldn't be
Hey,
us.
we ain't talking about that. Hey, say no. But
We made it far, baby.
Fuck you.
the thing
Hey, we
is,
lost to the
Bryce
Chiefs.
Harper won MVP, did make the playoffs, right? Had amazing stats, over 1,000 OPS, batted 300, 38 home runs, all that, 37 home runs, whatever, right? But we didn't make the playoffs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that this might change this year because the Phillies went out and they said, guess what? We're going to make the playoffs this year. They went out and got Kyle Schwarber, who's with the Red
Treat
Sox,
him right.
Fuck you. I
Treat
wanted
him
him.
right.
Fuck you. I wanted
who
him.
is the
Fuck
father
you.
of Garrett Cole. So the Phillies got Garrett Cole's father, which I love because I don't like the Yankees or the Atlanta
Thank you for
Braves.
the playoff run, Schwarby. Wish you
Um,
well in Philly.
and then the Phillies went out and said, "No, no, 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 no. We're not done. We lose out on Chris Bryant. We go get Cincinnati Reds big hitter Nick
Thank
Castellanos.
you.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
bro!
Thank you.
This is amazing, bro. I
There's
mean,
another
look,
red traded too that was big.
since about 2015, I've always like looked after the Phillies and just disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. Like I felt like, man, was that 2008 run? Even though I was like very very young in 2008, but I was always thinking, was that 2008 run just trash? It was to the point where I'm like, screw this. I'm just gonna watch Mookie Betts now, and Mookie Betts became my favorite player. But I've always kept sticking, kept looking to see what the Phillies would do every season, kept watching them as I got more and more into baseball, nothing. But this is the first time watching this team in like 6 or 7 years where I say we can actually make the playoffs.
Wow.
Like this can actually happen. This is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got it, guys. You got a lineup, right? You're gonna have Reese Hoskins, Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, Gene Segura, Didi Gregorius. We don't need you to be good. We just need you to be okay. Just be okay. Just be okay. Just be okay.
He said the Phillies are not going to make the playoffs. So what do you got to say to that?
Bro, the fact that you can read lips
If
is
they don't make
amazing.
the playoffs, I'll be very disappointed.
I'm
But
deaf. I've learned how to read
Hey,
lips.
that's impressive. But MG,
yes,
I just want to say because you took Kyle Schwarber, give me your money.
yeah, I was never getting Kyle Schwarber,
He's
bro.
not. He's
And
not even imitating at all.
that is not
He's not
intimidating.
imitating.
That is not intimidating. And y'all was never getting Kyle Schwarber to begin. Who said the Brewers were getting Kyle
Oh my
Schwarber?
god.
That's the most least intimidating thing I've ever seen.
Bro, you can't
I think
even
I
scare
killed
a
B Hub.
you can't even scare a fly away with that, bro. He's trying to.
Oh,
But
I'm trying to
the
find a
bottom
fly to
line,
scare away.
the Phillies. I don't know if this is the best defensive team,
Mm-hmm.
but on paper, the batting lineup is going to be solid. Um, Joe Girardi, a very experienced manager. We'll see how he handles the lineups this year and does things here, but I'm excited. I mean, you lost Andrew McCutcheon, Brad Miller, who I really wanted the Phillies to bring back because he was a good guy who I liked in the locker room as well. But you lose those two guys, but you bring back two guys who are better, two guys who are going to be better in the lineup. And hopefully, Didi Gregorius isn't starting. If he plays bad again, hopefully he isn't starting by the end of the year. Because I just watching Didi Gregorius last year was disappointing. So
Yeah.
Didi Gregorius can be average with this lineup. I'm completely fine with it, and the Phillies can finally at least touch the wild card round. But
Okay.
hopefully,
expanded playoffs. You have a better
Hey,
chance.
yes,
anything
yes, yes.
else you guys can think of for MLB? Oh,
No,
did the Reds trade someone away? Oh, their star player.
Jesse Winker is traded away.
Who was?
Jesse Winker.
Yes, Jesse Winker got
Eugenio
traded.
Suarez.
No, Jesse
Didn't
Winker.
they trade Eugenio?
I don't know, but I know Jesse Winker got traded. Hallelujah. Fuck that bitch. Fuck him. Hallelujah. He's finally
The
gone.
Mariners are making moves.
Yeah,
Zach Wheeler
Mariners.
Cy Young this year. I almost forgot to mention that.
Mm-hmm. But anything
I want to
else?
say one more thing about my team, real quick.
Go ahead.
In the first spring training game, Bobby Dahlbeck hit 2 home runs. The God.
Hey, I'm not B. MG.
Hmm?
I bet you the Brewers will have a better record than the Phillies. And you want to know what the loser has to do with this bet?
Probably will. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying
no.
the Phillies
The
can finally make the
loser
playoffs.
has to buy a shirt of the other team and wear it one full episode and cannot diss that team at all.
See, here's the thing with that. I never said that we would have the better record than the Brewers, so I'm not gonna put a bet on something that I
Damn
don't
it.
fully believe in. You, I think you
I
guys can if you guys, I think your pitching is good, and I think if you guys have consistent hitting
the best.
and yell it back, I think that y'all can be good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put a bet on something that I
Fine,
don't fully.
fine, fine. I won't bug you. Hey, B up, let's talk a bet.
talk about it later.
Okay.
And did you say you have the best pitching?
Okay,
Yes.
I just want to say something.
Have you seen the Mets on paper?
Yeah, I'm scared DeGrom's not playing this year. So
The Mets on paper. Hold on, we in a division. I know the NL East is not the greatest, but we got a guy coming back this season,
Cool.
bro. Bro, not us. Atlanta, bro. They got their two.
Mike Soroka or something like that?
No, they got Eddie Rosario coming back. They're the World
Oh, I thought you
Series.
were talking about the pitcher that got hurt last year. Never mind.
Yeah, they got Eddie Rosario coming back, bro. They got all these guys coming back. And Ronald Acuna is coming back, bro.
And they extended Matt Olson already, which is a good move.
Hold up. I just think we can make the wild card. I'm not gonna put a bet that we have the best record out of anyone because we are in a division that's getting better. So I'm just saying Atlanta. I hate the caution. Jesus, I hate the Braves, but they do have some solid talent. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm not gonna make a bet because we still have a division that's getting better in the Mets pitching staff.
Exactly.
Holy.
On paper, oh my god.
Brewers will have a better pitching, but let's see. Anyways, any MLB stuff you guys want to talk about?
No. No.
MG, you
The Brewers are overrated.
No, we're not. MG, you want to take us into the first topic of this crazy NFL thing that's been happening?
Before we get to like the big, gigantic, ginormous, like everyone came to watch this podcast, probably the thumbnail and maybe the title. Before we get into those news, I want to get into some signings that happened. So, listen here, folks. We got some signings here. Von Miller is going off to the Buffalo Bills.
Damn.
Now, I know that's not a smaller signing, but this dude got the bag. And I get it. He might be, older and stuff, but he can still be productive. I don't agree with that much money. But not only the money, if you want to pay him that, fine. It's just the years. He's a little bit too old to get that many years. I would sign him on a 2-3 year deal until he's fully washed. After those 3 years, let him retire. But he got the bag. Congrats to Von Miller, and he can go chase another Super Bowl because Buffalo's contenders. And you could argue that anything could happen if their defense got to stop with 13 seconds left. But
Hey,
Patrick Mahomes happened. But
they're
he's
taking
going to a
notes.
contender. Shout out to him. But what do y'all feel about that?
I just want to say the Bills are taking notes from the Bengals. The defense is what stopped Mahomes, so they're improving the defense this offseason. You're going to have Von Miller at the pass rush. You're going to have the best safety duo in the league with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. You have a top 5 corner in Tre'Davious White coming back, who was injured during that Chiefs game. This defense is going to be good. Oh yeah, and you have an underrated as fuck linebacker in Tremaine Edmonds. You still got the draft as well, where you could, if Jordan Davis could possibly fall to you. He probably won't, but if he does, holy cow, that Bills defense is a top 5 defense.
Could be.
And don't forget,
Yeah.
you still got a young guy who played great named Greg Russo.
That's another good one too.
So I like it.
I playing opposite of Von Miller.
I like it because before that, they did a lot on this defense this past year. They did a lot to improve it. The only need I can think basically that they need is maybe a corner 2.
Or a D tackle.
They did lose Levi Wallace, so that's kind of a big loss.
I know, cornerback 2, D tackle, and running back.
Yeah, that's it. And if they get that, they're probably the most complete team in the league.
Because you got Gabe Davis coming out underrated as fuck, who will be the wide 2 next year. Shout out to our guy JB who called that shit. But this is a great team that they put together.
B-Hub, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I know it looks like a 6-year contract, but it's pretty much like a 3-year contract. But they just made it it just looks like it's going to be like a 6-year deal, but it's honestly just half of the contract. So I think it's honestly a good signing. They needed some pass rushing, and it honestly just benefits both sides. And Buffalo, they're looking more scary than they did last year. And also, they could have got J.D. McKissick, but he backed down and went back to Washington. So they would have had their running back right now. But they'll have to keep looking and maybe add like a Cordell Patterson or something like that, a receiving back.
I got one thing. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to draft one because you got a guy named Zamir White, Kenneth Walker. Oh, what's his name?
Breece
Hall. You got great running backs who can be good. If you put Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, or Zamir White in that backfield, better watch out. Because the Bills can run both with their quarterback and running back and have a great arm quarterback. Oh, that's a better Lamar Jackson offense than Lamar Jackson himself.
Yeah. So,
But speaking of the Ravens.
Speaking of them, the Ravens signed Marcus Williams.
Wow.
Good safety. But before we get into who they signed, we got to get into who they didn't sign. Zadarius Smith, you're a dick, bro. He backed out of the deal with the Ravens. Don't know why. Don't know what happened. He signed the contract. Everybody was like, okay, going back to Baltimore. Respect, respect. He backed out. At the time of this recording, still a free agent. What happened, bro? What happened?
Oh, I don't know what happened.
I just have.
Oh,
You just have what?
Damn, nothing. But I have one thing to say. Ravens, what happened?
let's move on.
Had Zadarius Smith, but no, y'all suck. Steelers on top. I called it.
He said Steelers on top. I'm clipping that now. We hooping if you somehow see this. He's a Packers fan, but a fake Steelers fan.
No, I'm joking. All right. No.
All right. I have a theory why he backed out. He saw how much these linebackers were getting paid, and he's like, you know what? I'm getting paid more. So I'm going back to hit the market because then I'll be the best linebacker on the market, and some team will overpay for you.
I have a better idea. The Packers freed up a lot of cap. He's coming back. He's coming back, baby. He's coming back.
No.
Why would he come back?
I don't know.
Like, honestly.
I don't know. I just wanted to say. Wow. But Hooker, the guy, not Hooker, Williams, great signing by them. A big position they've been missing since Earl Thomas left. Because we saw what that Ravens defense could do if they have a great safety, and now they got a great young safety for the future. To go with Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey too in that backfield, I like that. And then you still got underrated Patrick Queen. You have that D line, which is a good D line. I like it.
Calais Campbell might be coming.
If he resigns, obviously.
Yeah, if he does.
You got a young rookie and a Dafe away who actually played good last year.
Played great from Penn State.
Yeah, and got a lot of Michael Pierce is coming back to the Ravens too.
Yeah, too.
That's a good signing there, but let's go to another NFC West team. And no, we're not going to talk about the Browns yet. You got to go to the Bengals.
AFC North, I mean?
AFC North. We're not going to talk about the Browns. We're going to go to the Bengals. They signed Alex Kappa, offensive lineman, Super Bowl champion. And, you know, it was a pretty decent contract. Pretty, I wouldn't say average. Maybe it's above average offensive lineman who played well with Tampa the last few years. So, good signing there by the Bengals. What do y'all think?
I think it's a good signing. He's not the best out there, but he's not the worst. It's a great signing for them. You help improve that interior O-line, which got killed by Aaron Donald.
Mm-hmm.
Help protect Joe Burrow, because that was the reason why y'all didn't win the Super Bowl with O-line. If you had a good O-line, you guys probably would have won.
Yep.
You still got Collins out there you can target. You still got a draft. So the Bengals are looking to actually go on the right step. Usually, like with some teams, they'll say, oh, we'll just reload and come back. But they're actually looking like they're doing the right way of reloading, because teams will make it look flashy, like adding receivers and stuff. But the Bengals are doing a true reload with the offensive line, which is more gritty.
Yeah, I agree. B-Ho, your thoughts?
He was literally the first signing of free agency, literally immediately after it started. Good signing. They had to protect Joe Burrow. They were just in the Super Bowl. And literally on the last play of the game, Jamar Chase was wide open, and he didn't have enough time to throw the ball. And that pass rusher, I believe, came from the right side. So
it was Aaron Donald.
Or around, it was because of pressure that made him lose the game. So it was a good signing. And honestly, a pretty favorable contract. It kind of benefited him playing playing with one of the best offensive line in the NFL, with one of the best offensive line coaches. So we'll see how he performs with the Bengals and see if he can protect Joe Burrow, because that's all you need to do.
Yeah. Now let's go on to another guy that was from the AFC North who no longer is, which happened today. Juju Smith-Schuster to the Chiefs.
Yep.
1 year, $10 million. Is that the best offense in the NFL right now with Juju, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that O-line? Is it the best team in the
I mean,
offense in the NFL?
on paper, free agency is not over. This podcast episode is going to be uploaded about probably like 15 hours after it's recorded.
15, 12.
So at the time of this recording, maybe, but Tampa Bay, if maybe they make a signing, who knows?
God, they don't got a running back though.
Buffalo,
That's the thing.
That's the thing. They wait. Fournette just had one of the best seasons of his career, bro.
Fournette's a free agent.
I think both of their running backs are free agents.
Yeah, right now they're both free agents.
Oh, so they're both free agents. Well,
They still got Giovanni Bernard, I think.
but
Something like that.
They're probably gonna bring back Leonard Fournette.
Probably, but as right now, they don't got him.
They have to, but the Buccaneers, they can make a case. But I think right now, at the time of this recording, the Chiefs do have the best offense on paper. But I think, this is definitely a good debate. The Bengals, maybe, but they lost C.J. Uzomah.
And they don't got the O-line like the Chiefs. The Chiefs
They
had a
don't have
great
the
O-line.
Yeah, the Chiefs have a decent O-line.
And don't forget they did franchise tag Orlando Brown as well.
Yep, good thing by the Chiefs here. So, yeah, I'll say at the time of this recording, barring no trades, no nothing, the Chiefs might have the best offense.
I want to say this. The last time Juju Smith-Schuster was the true wideout 2, and there was a true wideout 1, he had over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, so we'll see how he plays next to Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce.
Because that's a great pickup because you got Tyreek Hill who go burn deep. You got Travis Kelce to take away the middle of the field, and then you got a great route runner like type player in Juju.
The Chiefs really needed a number 2 receiver. And the last time Juju was a number 2, he got voted the best player. And then then Antonio Brown got kind of soft and wanted to be traded. So he performs his best as a number 2. He just a lot of receivers cannot be number 1s, but he's a pretty dang good number 2. And it's a perfect signing for the Chiefs. I think it's only $3 million in base salary and like $10 million if he makes like gets all of his incentives. So it was a great contract for both sides. And I remember last year he chose the Steelers instead of going to the Chiefs. And getting Juju last year could have propelled them over the hump, maybe.
First case.
So let's see how it works out. Good signing, in my opinion.
Any other free agent signing you can think of that's not from our teams or the trades?
J.C. Jackson.
Yes.
Some J.C. Jackson. Yeah. J.C. Jackson going to the Chargers. I mean, traded for Khalil Mack and now J.C. Jackson. So we talked about Khalil Mack last episode and how we feel about it. Now they added J.C. Jackson. AFC West, y'all can't stop doing deals, bro. We're going to talk about another one later, but y'all can't stop doing deals. Man. J.C. Jackson having about 20 plus picks in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Damn. So I like what he can bring. Ball hawk type of guy. As long as he doesn't get beat deep, he's going to be a great addition. Derwin James in a safety, being in the secondary with him. Love that. Love that. They needed that corner one, J.C. Jackson. So last year he can possibly be that. I love it.
A pretty favorable contract as well for both sides. I thought he would get paid more.
Yeah.
Imagine Stephon Gilmore gets signed over to the Chargers.
Imagine.
I'm just saying something, but who knows?
But
I like the signing. I do. It helps out the Chargers because one of their biggest weaknesses last year was their secondary on that defense. Because you have 2 great pass rushers. You got a top 5 safety when fully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And now you add a top 10 corner.
Yep. Yeah, also, the Raiders are not done. They have 2 more deals. We got to talk about this one before we get to the other later. Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is going to the Raiders.
Wow.
And a signing. Oh, man. The Raiders beefing up that defense, man. Starting to beef up that defense. Got a guy like Max Crosby. Had a breakout year. Been great for the last 2 seasons.
Got that bag.
Get that vet. like Chandler Jones, who can come in, still get double-digit sacks a year with Max Crosby. They have an underrated pass rushing duo. They have underrated. People forget how good Chandler Jones is every time. Don't know why they don't talk about him, but he is so great, bro. Chandler Jones is still effective. He's a veteran. He's been around a while. Max Crosby, younger guy, just breaking out over the last 2 seasons. This is a perfect combination on the D line for the Raiders. Just got to. I think if they get a premier defensive tackle, they can have one of the best defensive lines in the league. But what do y'all think?
I feel bad for Russell Wilson the most because you got Chandler
Who got other
Jones,
quarterbacks in that division?
Max Crosby, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa. That's only four. You got some good guy. You got Chris Jones in Kansas City. I'm sorry. And potentially maybe even Zadarius Smith in Kansas City too. I've been seeing a lot of maybe Smith, but who knows?
Honestly, don't think Russell Wilson is that choker because look at the offensive line he's had for the last decade. He's been running for his whole career, so
He had a
it's nothing new.
Chandler Jones before and Nick Bosa
So what's new?
and
But
Aaron Donald, bro. What? I don't think Russell Wilson
$5
is
million
that
last year.
like.
I just remembered something. I forgot. I don't know if we talked about this yet, but the Raiders just recently traded Yannick Ngakoue to the Colts,
That is true.
which I like. I like that a lot for the Colts. They only got rid of Rakiasin. The Raiders did need a corner, but like, there's no way he's as valuable as a Yannick Ngakoue. This is like his fifth or sixth team in 15 months, and I think he could be a pretty good staple on that Colts defense. And they'll benefit a lot playing with some good defensive players and, Darius Leonard. You have some solid corners and Kenny Moore. Just good move for both sides.
Yep. The Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs making moves. The AFC West is the NFL's best division right now.
On paper, obvious.
Now you guys got
But
100%.
you guys got any
yes,
more
yeah.
big signings, or do we have a fucking trade we gotta talk about?
Well, we got multiple trades we gotta talk about, but
Let's save the best two for
let's
later.
save this. Let's save the best trades for last. Um, let's start off with talking about B Hub's team, the Cowboys. You guys have done a few things, not a lot, but a few things. What have you guys done so far?
Yeah. It started off pretty bad, honestly, with the Randy Gregory stuff. We put language in his contract, which we do with a lot of our players, and people were like, "Oh, that's messed up to do." That guy has been suspended multiple times, had drug issues, so it just made sense. But the Broncos were like, "We're not going to do that to you," which I don't blame him for signing that contract because he's going to get more guaranteed. And I wish him well in Denver. But today, we made three minor moves. I'm actually pretty happy with bringing back LVE, who played way better in the second half of the season, getting only $2 million guaranteed. That is a great contract for a guy that's going to roam the middle. Bring in a guy who's formerly who knows Dan Quinn's system, and Dante Fowler Jr. Literally 2 years ago, he was getting overpaid, not overpaid, but he was getting the bag from Atlanta. So he still has the talent. And one that kind of went under the radar is a guy named James Washington, who Des Bryant called this happening because they both went to Oklahoma State. They have that connection, and he called this. And I think he could be a pretty serviceable number 3 this year. And it's honestly been a lot better the past few days with the types of contracts people are signing and the type of value we're getting with these contracts for these 1 year deals.
Okay.
Like it. I like the Gallup deal. Especially see what Christian Kirk got, and he can be better than Christian Kirk. So, shout out to Gallup for
Healed
getting
from the ACL.
yes, return from the ACL. Even though you're a Cowboys player, we don't like injuries at all. So definitely
No
give that.
injuries.
I like the signing for y'all though. I do.
I mean, you guys didn't sign that many. You signed like what one guy that wasn't on your team last year. But sometimes you don't always need to go get free agents. I feel like some people say like, "Oh, you got to go get this guy. You got to go get that guy." You signed Dante Fowler, James Washington. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough.
You
You,
build
you
up through the
feel
draft.
Yeah, wide receiver three after losing Cedric Wilson, which no one's talking about for some reason. Um,
Good signing for the Miami Dolphins. I wish him well,
Dolphins.
and he's
And
been kind of underutilized during his career. So I wish him well in Miami with Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, solid receiving core, helping Tua out.
you replace James Washington with you replace no you get James Washington to replace your guy who left. Obviously, he's not going to replace Cooper, but you get a guy there, and then you get an extra linebacker who can rush the passer. Kind of a guy who plays a little similar to Micah Parsons, who can be on the other side of Parsons rushing the passer and help out D Law.
And the last time he wasn't like the main focal point of a defense. He had 11 and a half sacks. So he's going to benefit a lot with the Marcus Lawrence, with Micah Parsons, the guys in the middle, bringing back Dorrance Armstrong. That's another very favorable contract. I
Hmm.
expect him to have like another 7 to 8 sack season. And it's just more like on paper right now with the scheme fit. Dan Quinn has done a very nice job bringing in these selective players. So we got to see how it works out. Right now, we're still in talks about getting Zadarius Smith. I wouldn't be against it, but it just depends on the contract for me because he was hurt last year, and you don't know if you can like trust him. Trust him.
Hmm.
But I if it's a very favorable contract, I'll take him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hayden, what you think on the Cowboys moves?
I like the moves. Like MG said, you don't have to build through free agency. You got the draft still, and there's some good people in the draft that you guys could pick at your pick. After us, of course, but you can still get it. But MG,
Gotta wait a while for the
so
draft.
what happened in Philly this week?
Well, what happened in Philly this week? You want me to tell you everything that happened?
Yeah, everything.
All right,
From
so look,
whether someone
there's
eating in
millions of
their
people that
dining room to
yeah.
someone
So it's
to
like
the
millions of
biggest thing in
people.
the
So
world.
it's gonna be a while because like millions of people who live here. So
Yeah.
that's like everything that everyone did. So yeah, like 5,000 babies were born.
Okay.
500,000 people ate this week.
Mhm.
About 15 players played basketball on our roster for our basketball team.
Okay.
Really?
Did
Oh my
something.
gosh.
Our football team did something.
What's he
They
gonna
signed
do?
Hassan Riddick, a guy who had double-digit sacks the last 2 seasons. Great signing. He is a guy who's familiar with the area. Went to college, literally like 10 minutes from where I used to live at Temple University. So he's familiar with the city. He knows is basically coming back home. A guy who can rush the passer, who's gonna be exactly what we need. We need a guy who can get to the quarterback better than Derek Barnett did, because Derek Barnett, all he was a penalty waiting to happen.
You know what?
So
I'll take Derek Barnett. You can play
you can
Philly
have
twice a year.
Derek Barnett. He's gonna cost you 15-yard penalties. So you go for it. You go for it. We get in a guy who actually is gonna produce and get sacks, and that's what I love. We didn't do a lot since then. We re-signed Boston Scott. We got back Fletcher Cox. That the contract details will be announced on Monday. It looks like. We got back Greg Ward. So just bringing back some guys who are familiar with the organization because we all know, Eagles fans know, getting Hassan Reddick, re-signing these guys. We know the real rebuild for the Eagles is with those 3 first-round picks that we got.
Mhm.
That's the real rebuild. 15 pick, 16 pick, 19 pick. The 3 first-round picks is where that's where our young guy we're gonna get our young guys. Hopefully they turn into superstars in the first round. That's where the real rebuild happens. Hoping that Jalen Hurts is developing like we need him to,
Mhm.
going into his third year in the NFL, second year as a starter. The Eagles, I'm just waiting for the draft now. I'm not rushing them or forcing their hand to do anything. They signed a great pass rusher, one
Mhm.
of the best last season, one of the most underrated ones. Definitely great. Re-signing guys who are familiar. Let's go. Let's get this great draft. Get this great draft. And Fletcher Cox came back on a cheaper deal, helped out the team. That is what you call a team player who's gonna be like, all right,
Yeah.
you guys can release me and get me right back for a cheaper deal since I'm not worth what my big contract was. I'm gonna take a cheaper deal, and that's what we did. So honestly, I'm actually not mad. I'm not mad at anything we done, unless I'm ready for the draft.
Okay. I like the move. Hassan Reddick. You guys bring back Anthony Harris as well.
Bring back Anthony Harris.
and you get fresh shots on a cheaper deal. That's good because like we said with B-Up, you do not need free agency to develop your team. It starts with the draft. So not bad moves.
Yeah,
Gotta say, I think the best signing in free agency so far is Hassan Reddick. It hurts to say because he's in the division. He was one of my favorite players to watch in the last few years, and the value y'all got for him, it was a steal. And he's going to get you 10+ sacks. He could get you, so he's improved a little bit as a run stuffer, but he's most valuable as attacking the quarterback. And what a steal! And it's going to suck playing him twice a year.
Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones. Watch out. That's all I have to say.
Just stay away from his leg. Stay away from his leg, please.
Traded for Matt Ryan.
We're doing clean tackles. We not bounty gating out here.
You ain't the Saints. We fucked up and think to. But we'll talk about that later. Probably the last thing we talk about. But
yeah, we have a lot of news with the Packers. So
I didn't know the Saints had Kevin James as their head coach. That was crazy.
Yeah, very opinion-filled. Wait, before we get to the Packers, you will get a chance to talk about them. Before we get to them, we gotta talk about a quarterback.
Who?
A quarterback, bro.
What quarterback?
He got traded.
Is he from like a team called like the Houston Texans?
Davis Mills?
Oh, I was thinking the Houston Oilers or something.
Wait. Is it Davis Mills?
What?
Is it Davis Mills?
No. It might be Tyrod Taylor.
Who signed with the Giants, so that was a good sign. I give him that.
But in all realistic,
just don't puncture his lung.
Deshaun Watson is getting traded to the Cleveland Browns. We all thought it was the Falcons, bro. I'm like, okay, at this point, it's the Falcons. But now, he went to the Browns.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, Deshaun Watson, and that.
MG, the Browns didn't. Guess what? The Browns didn't give up not just one, not two, but 3 first-round picks.
And they gave up a third and a fifth as well.
Yeah, and they got a fourth in return.
Also, they signed him to an extension, 5 years, $230 million, fully guaranteed. Fully. No matter what, if he gets traded, he is making $230 million, folks. Fully guaranteed. No matter if they trade him again, no matter what, unless he restructures his deal. And restructuring, that's only going to backload it. So either way, $230 million. Once it's fully guaranteed, no restructuring. That's crazy. They sold. I wouldn't say this. They basically sold their souls. They sold their draft picks. They sold their money. They wanted
take all the picks. Take them all.
F them picks. F them picks.
F them picks, bro.
That's not the title. It'll be probably chaos.
Hashtag F them picks on Twitter.
I just thought of the title, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes.
Hayden, what do you think of Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland? I'll actually give my opinion last.
I don't believe it. Like, for those who do not realize, Deshaun Watson made his final 2 teams like a couple days ago, saying, "Oh, it's between the Saints and Falcons," and then last night he says, "Nah, I changed my mind. I'm putting the Browns back in," and what happens? He goes to the Browns. But the thing is, the Browns, they overreach when you have Baker Mayfield quarterback. When you have a guy who can take you to the Super Bowl, you just cannot give up on him. Just trust him. He will take you there. You got to realize that you guys were dealing with OBJ in the middle of the year. That drama. You were dealing with Baker. Really never had a full 2 years to develop into a system because he started off with Hugh Jackson, Freddie Kitchens, and then last year Kevin Stefanski, and now Kevin Stefanski, he's finally getting his feet in the system, getting comfortable. And you got to remember, he was always injured last year. I don't get why you go after a guy like Watson, ruin your future and your cap in a couple years, just for a guy named Deshaun Watson, who hasn't even played in a year, almost 2 years at this rate.
And he's not even fully acquitted of all the stuff.
He could still, a couple years down the line, they could find evidence and be like, "Hey, yo, go to jail, you go." or the NFL can still suspend him as well. I think this was a stupid move for the Browns. I do. I don't think like getting Watson is the stupid part, but what they gave up and what they did with that contract is the stupid part.
I th- I think with the Watson contract, it's a lot. It's a lot to fully guarantee. So I'm looking at their books. They're gonna be paying Watson. They're gonna take. I'm looking at their contract right now. Baker, once they trade him, that's $18 million off. That's why
Mm-hmm.
they're able to pay Watson. Um, but you got Denzel Ward making 13 a year, David Njoku making 10 a year, Miles Garrett making 12 million next year.
Wow.
Um, but he's obviously going to get backloaded money, so the next few years that's only going to go up. So you got a lot of stuff going. So when I'm looking at the cap situation with the contract, they're going to have to restructure Amari Cooper. Get it. Cooper, I'm sorry.
If he wants to restructure.
You got to do that. Baker's going to get traded. Denzel Ward's contract is fine. Miles Garrett won't have to restructure now. Probably won't ever have to restructure, but if it's an emergency, they might ask Miles Garrett, if not like restructure, or at least just we'll pay you years down the line. Because
Mm-hmm.
this is a lot of money they're giving to Watson. So cap wise, what I'm looking at right now on a reliable website, it looks a little bit tough. They got a lot of players in double digit millions. I'm talking about 10 million and up. A lot of guys in that range, but we'll see. Now, as far as the picks, if you're the Browns, I get it. A lot of Browns fans, some Browns fans are like, why all these picks? Why all these picks? If you're getting Deshaun Watson, you were going to give that up. I'm just
No
being
matter what
realistic.
team.
Your team wanted Deshaun Watson, and they gave up what Deshaun Watson was worth. Now, people say he hasn't played in the year. He hasn't played in the year. Yeah, he might be rusty a little bit, but when we last seen Deshaun Watson, he was a top five quarterback in football. And once he gets acclimated into the system, has a better run game that he's ever had, he's gonna have an even better. I think
Mm-hmm.
he can have a better perform career than he did with the Texans. He had one playoff win with Houston, pretty solid. He's shown up in the playoffs before, so that's not a question. He's shown he can be a top five quarterback. That's not a question. His last year with the Texans didn't work out. Now, the NFL, luckily for Cleveland, because they have him locked in for 5 years, and if he's great, like we expect him to be, he's going to be their quarterback for the next 10 years because he's only 25, maybe 26 already. I don't know when he turns 26, but only 25 currently. Once the NFL finishes their investigation, if he does get a suspension for 8 games, that's fine. But once this whole investigation, I'm not talking about because he already got cleared by by the court, so he's not going to
It's
jail.
pending.
But once
It's
you find
pending
out if
now.
he's getting suspended or not, once that's over, you have your guy. I am not the biggest fan of the contract being fully guaranteed, but I do kind of like the deal for Cleveland. Yes, Baker Mayfield did take him to the playoffs before. He did do good, but at the end of the day, the Cleveland Browns have not had an elite quarterback since Otto Graham.
Yeah.
None of us, none of our parents, and probably none of our grandparents weren't alive when Otto Graham was in his prime.
My
You're
grandparent
lucky.
was.
You're lucky if your grandparents were alive when Otto Graham was in his
Mine
prime.
was. My
How old
grandparents.
were your grandparents?
Yeah, he lived through the Star era. He remembered watching the Expo, Lombardi
Did
and
he grow
stuff.
up in the Otto Graham era?
Yep.
So Hayden has the rare grandparents that grew up in the Otto Graham era, but even that is you don't see that every day.
No.
The Browns have their best quarterback since Otto Graham,
Wow.
and the point here is I'm not a big fan of the contract. The picks they were gonna have to get that up anyways, but as far as Deshaun Watson, the player, once the NFL are finished with their investigation and everything finally is over, suspension or not, the Browns have a guy for the next 5 years. They have decent talent around him. The Browns are in a prime position to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. If they don't win a Super Bowl with this contract with Deshaun Watson, that is gonna be is gonna be tough.
It is.
We know he can be a good quarterback in the regular season. He's won a playoff game, but if they don't win a Super Bowl with this type of quarterback, with what they gave up, it's all gonna be worth nothing. And don't let those 3 first-round picks be stars, and they potentially win a Super Bowl before Watson does. The Browns need to win a title. They got
They
to.
do.
They have to win a title. I'm a fan of Deshaun Watson, the player. Rather his legal issues, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But as him as a football player, I love it. I love him as a player. But the contract is kind of is fully guaranteed. That's the only slight issue I have, is because if they don't win a Super Bowl, that's just a big contract sitting there to just lose in the playoff games or lose when it matters most. So the contract, I don't know, but the player, great. I like the run game they have there. The talent is there.
Yeah.
B Hub, what do you think?
I'm actually kind of glad y'all went in the Browns perspective because I wanted to talk about the Texans perspective because I feel like they won this trade in a sense because of how much they acquired. We all know Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback, but they literally had no choice but to trade him because he wasn't going to play. And you get 3 first-round picks, you get a third and a fifth. Their rebuild's going very, very smoothly. They got Davis Mills, who was a top 3 rookie quarterback last year. They can finally build around him. Got a lot of picks upcoming. Nick Casario pretty much said before the season even started, the trade package, they never budged, and they got what they wanted. And let's hope they give Lovie Smith a chance to build his team
Exactly.
because some of these owners with these African American quarterbacks, they just give them these rebuilding teams, give them 2 years, then fire them, then get someone whenever their team is competitive. So I hope they give them a really fair shot. And the Texans, they got a haul. The Browns paid a lot, but they've had I don't know, 15 quarterbacks in the last decade, something crazy like that. They drafted a 28-year-old rookie. They needed to shore up that quarterback position because Baker Mayfield, he's solid, but I don't see him as a Super Bowl winning caliber quarterback
I
because
agree.
this this AFC is so stacked. You need a pretty good quarterback. And I got to shout out Big Play Slay. He kind of called this yesterday because he was like, you know what? I think the Browns need to go all in on Deshaun Watson, and they did. And hey, they gave him a lot, but this is what you have to do to win a Super Bowl, and they got a window to win it.
Last thing I want to say about this, the Falcons had basically
From 28 to
everyone
30.
thought that they were the team, and
They choked again.
they choked Deshaun Watson.
That's
They
tough.
let him go. I find the Falcons. Matt Ryan's now mad, and you didn't get Watson, and Matt Ryan now might not want to be with the team. Also,
That's tough.
too, one more thing, Baker Mayfield. By the time next episode is out, he will probably definitely be with his new team. So that'll be interesting when we talk about that. But
Mm,
Hayden, your last thoughts, if any.
I got none.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've came all the way here. If you watch all the way here, first off, you're a god. But this is gonna be probably the last topic of the day. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Green Bay Packers, Hayden's favorite football team. They had a very eventful offseason. We talked about Rodgers last week and he's staying. They franchise tagged Devontae Adams. We'll talk about that in just a second. We'll let our guy Hayden. Actually, we'll let our guy Hayden go last on this because we want to get his full opinion. We just want to get him last. We'll let him be the main event. So B Hub, let's start off with the Packers. Okay, they bring back Rodgers, right? Right. Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right. No, we talked about that. Okay, they cut Zadarius Smith. Very interesting. Maybe
Pretty
that's
expected, though. So let's see
expected.
what they're going to do with that money.
Yeah, maybe they have a star receiver who needs to get paid. I mean,
And the
they cut
corner.
Zadarius Smith, who's making a lot of money. Okay, okay, okay. They're gonna wait to sign Rasul Douglas. They're negotiating with Adams. Oh, all right, cool. So a few days go by. Okay, the Packers traded star wide receiver Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders for a first and a second.
Can you please say that again? Say that again.
The Green Bay Packers traded star wide receiver Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders for a first and a second.
One first.
Wait.
one for.
Give me
What are
one
we
second.
waiting for, sir?
This. So
What,
give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. It's an
the
ad.
fact of the matter
Give me
is,
a second.
the
Give me a
pack,
second.
and I want to give full context. The Packers were willing to pay Devontae Adams. He said, "Nah, I'm out."
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Where is the
We don't need
moment we need it the most?
We barely hear it.
You kick
That
up the
sounds
leaves
terrible.
and the magic is lost.
Hayden, this is another L. Like you can't even hear it.
That's
You
just how
want to
much.
tell him what it was?
Sure.
It was because he had a bad day.
So we're talking about Devontae Adams. Okay, this dude had a 2020 115 catches, 1,300 yards, 18 touchdowns. 2021, 123 catches, 1,553 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Some of the guy who's putting up 1,300 yards and 10 plus touchdowns a season. A guy who, over the last 2 to 3 seasons, became one of the best receivers, became the best route runner in the game. Now, Cooper Kupp had an amazing year, but Devontae Adams was widely regarded as the best wide receiver talent we have this game to offer. And the Packers burned their relationship with him. It wasn't, a lot of people thought when this trade first happened, oh, they didn't want to pay him. A lot of people thought when the trade first happened, oh, they just pissed Rodgers off. Rodgers already knew this was probably not going to end well. The bottom line is what I get from everything that I heard and everything that has been confirmed. Devontae Adams was done with the Packers. He didn't care about the money the Packers offered him. It's sad his best friend Aaron Rodgers wasn't enough to keep him happy. The Packers screwed him over somehow, some way, to the point where even Aaron Rodgers couldn't keep him there. And he loved that man, Aaron Rodgers. Packers fans, I pray for you as you are going through this tough time at the moment. You lost one the probably the best quarterback receiver duo in the league this season. You lost a guy who consistently puts up 1,200 yards a year over the last 2 seasons. Beho, you can take this away as I just give my thoughts out to the Packers fans.
It's crazy how a guy who has arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, they've been one of the best duos, I'd say, ever since 2017 ish, because that's when he normally broke out because he kind of started off slow. But
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy how you went from a team that has one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, who you have a very good relationship with, and wants to get traded to go to a stacked division with the like go to the Raiders in a stacked division in the AFC West. It's plain and simple to me. He felt like he didn't have a chance to win a Super Bowl in Green Bay. That's number one. Number two, he wanted to play with Derek Carr, Fresno State connection, and I think he's always wanted to be a Raider. If I remember a tweet coming out, I think didn't he grow up a Raider fan, or am I just?
He wanted to go to the Raiders because of Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I knew that.
And he got the bag. And it's crazy how the Packers were willing to offer him more. That's how much he just didn't care. He just didn't want to stay there. He wanted to find new places, and he thought he could win more with the Raiders.
Hayden, you're the die-hard Packers fan. You've been on record multiple times crying, pouring your all-out emotions to this football organization. How do you feel about the Green Bay Packers
I gotta find
burning
one.
their relationship and trading away, which is highly regarded the best wide receiver that this game has to offer? How do
I
you
gotta
feel?
see this.
To quote the great Isaiah Faithful, or LA Faithful, pain, bro, pain.
I thought you were gonna say get some bitches.
Well, that's what you need to do, be able to go get some bitches, but
No, you lost your bitches in Green Bay.
shut up.
How
Yeah.
do you feel about this?
This kills me. This kills me more than normal Packers fan because when we drafted him, I was high on him coming out of the draft. That's who I wanted. That was the guy I was like, this guy with in a few years it will be the best. I literally was high on him. He's been my guy since day one. I loved him more than Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, James Jones at the time. I loved him more than Aaron Rodgers. He was my favorite player. We fucking trade him, so this hurts me more.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but do you like him more than Don Hudson?
Shut up, Yub, I do.
That's an inside joke from Discord.
Inside joke.
It just hurts. It hurts me. But outside of like the bias, I love Devontae stance. You gotta look from this from a business aspect. With not having Devontae's franchise tag, we do save the like 30 mil that would be his franchise tag. We do save it so we can go out and get guys like a Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones. We can re-sign people like Robert Tonyan, who's still a free agent, and we're still Douglas to help bring in depth at the cornerback spot. We can do this type of stuff now without the money, but does it hurt? Yes. And I wish we got the thing that pisses me off the most about the trade is how we only got a first and a second. We didn't even get two firsts. We didn't even get first, second, and Hunter Renfro. Who's another one of their guys that's young?
Brian Edwards.
Brian Edwards. We didn't get them. We didn't get a guy that can help us out and replace to help bring depth because all we got at receivers is Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard, who will be the wideout one as of right now, Amari Rogers, Malik Taylor, and Juwan Winfrey. Worst wideout core in the NFL.
Well, you guys got to go sign guys, but
We do.
you know what I like about all this?
What?
Packers fans, not only Packers fans, but you are in complete pain on this podcast right now. And we get to just enjoy it because it's not actual real life pain where we have to be supportive friends. This is sports. And this
I've
is
lost to this guy so many times in the playoffs, and this makes me so happy right now.
Hey, B up. Without the wideouts, we're still gonna kick your ass this year. Fuck you.
But the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, this is sports. This is what we live for. And seeing Hayden shaking his head, putting his head down because the Green Bay Packers unsuccessfully keeping their guys happy. This is amazing.
Also, he was so confident they would re-sign him because if
I
y'all
want to say this. The day before. The day fucking before.
that's what I was going to bring up.
I was saying it's when he denied the $23. I was like, okay, it's just the starts of a negotiations. MG said the same thing. Just pain.
And the day, so basically what he's saying, because he can't finish his sentence.
It's too painful.
He's that flabbergasted.
Adams $23 million a year. And Hayden was like, that might just be a start of negotiations. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with that. He turned that down because it was the start of negotiations. No, he turned that down because he simply did not care about being with Green Bay. He did not care. He said, I'm turning this in because I don't want to be here. He said, no, buddy, you thought wrong.
I'm taking my ass to Vegas. They have no income tax. I'm getting all that money.
I'm gonna go play the casino. I'm gonna go play the slots. I ain't playing for the Packers organization. I'm paying for the slots, boy. I'm playing poker.
You about to play some blackjack?
He said, "I'm not playing for the Packers anymore.
Boy.
I'm playing poker. I'm playing the slots machine. I'm getting all sevens, bro."
It is more than 36 hours. This thing happened 36 hours ago, and I'm still in pain. I'm still flabbergasted by it.
The bottom line is, you guys helped out the Raiders so much because the Raiders were crying a few months ago over their wide receiver. Tragic mistake, which we've talked about on this podcast. They gave him up, Hayden, right? Right? They gave up that wide receiver. Or not, well, they had to give him up because with jail. But they were crying
Because of
about that
reasons.
receiver. And you guys said, You know what? You can have the best one in the league. Here you go. Well,
Take them.
Monte Adams, I'm happy that you're happy. I'm happy, because you are very enjoyable to watch. Great route running, and I'm just glad that he's happy. He's no longer with the Green Bay NFC Championship losers anymore, and I'm not a fan
I
of the
can.
NFC North. I'm not a Packers fans or Lions fan, but I know they feel so great about this, seeing the Packers fall right now. B Hub, what do you any last words you got to say about this?
I got more stuff to
Because
talk about with the Packers that happened this week.
my last thing on this topic is because he's finally in the AFC, I can finally root for the guy because there's a guy by the name of Hayden on this podcast who makes me dislike the Packers even more. Good friend, but he talks a little too much about the Packers. So every team has had to deal with the rebuild, and yours is upcoming. Enjoy these last few years with Rodgers because then you're going to be out of love. Pun.
Y'all know how great this is because if y'all don't know,
That
outside
fucking
this
pun.
podcast, all Hayden talks about is the Packers. So I was talking about the Sixers earlier, and he found a way to bring up the Packers, bro. So to see him talk about the Packers, but he's talking about them in such a painful way is great. Because everyone around the community just gets mad at him because he thinks the Packers are involved in everything. We could be talking about how the Chiefs signed Juju. What about the Packers? But now,
All the Packers should be interested in him and try to lure him away from the Chiefs.
yeah, it's just to see him talk about the Packers in a painful way. This is just great. And honestly, I don't care anything else the Packers did. I don't care about Rasul Douglas getting re-signed or
He's
potentially
not
getting
resigned
re-signed.
yet.
I don't care
Potentially.
about
Devondre Campbell.
I don't care about Devondre Campbell. I don't care about none of those guys, bro. Devontae Adams is gone, and that's all I gotta say. So Hayden, whatever you got to say, let's do it and let's get out of here.
First things first, pain. Just pain. But the thing is, Packers fans, I want to say this. Am I upset about what happened? Yes. Should we be upset a little bit? Yeah. Like, we just lost the best receiver, a guy who's been on our team his whole career. We just lost that. I just want to say this is the third fucking receiver we lost to the Raiders. James Jones, Jordy Nelson, now fucking Devontae Adams. Raiders, can you please stop trying to take our receivers? Oh, fun fact, every time they left Green Bay, they declined, so I'm just saying. Just saying. But no. But Packers fans, we have enough. Don't freak out yet. It's not time to rebuild. Should we have gone into a rebuild this year? I think yes, we should have by letting Rodgers go somewhere else, or if he retired. But we're not gonna. All we gotta do is just bring in some key pieces, and we can still win the North. We still got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, so it's not time to panic yet. We still got a couple years left with Rodgers. Once Rodgers goes, then it's time to accept the rebuild, accept the time to tank, and we could have potentially a great quarterback for the future too. We have no idea how he would pan out. We only seen one game of his instead of a whole season. We gotta see how he plays the season. So it's not time to panic. We still got Campbell for 5 years. We did bring back Lazard, so he is on the team. MBS is free agent. Tanya is free agent. Yes, that and this and that. Yes and yes. I know you two are celebrating over there about this, but it's not time to panic. It's not. Devontae Adams too with this contract, 5 years. He deserves money. He does. But in a couple of years, that money is not going to be showing his performance on the field like it does, because usually Rado starts to decline once they hit 30. Look at Julio, AB.
AB didn't decline. He just jumped off of a cliff,
Like I said,
not physically but mentally.
Julio Jones has been hurt.
I know, but like that's when your body starts getting old, and that's when you start declining a little bit.
What about Jerry Watt? What about Jerry Rice?
Hey, Jerry Rice is a different animal. You cannot compare anyone to Jerry
He
Rice.
performed into his 40s.
Yeah, Jerry Rice is different though. That's the one.
T.O. performed in his 30s.
But what I'm saying is most
Randy Moss.
usually start to decline in their 30s. So, and it was that. From what I hear too, it's been a thing since the playoff game that was Devontae's last game.
So you're saying it was the last dance?
It was technically it was the last dance. Everyone thought it would be for Rodgers, but it was for Devontae.
It was the last choke.
Hey, fun fact too, I saw Devontae's last touchdown caught by Aaron Rodgers in person.
Don't care.
Fuck you.
We don't care. He's
Fuck
with
you.
the Raiders now.
Don't care.
But don't worry, Packers fans, we'll be fine. We'll be fine for a couple of years. We'll be fine.
But Hayden, B Hub, this was a great episode.
Hour and
Devon.
20 minutes.
But ladies and gentlemen, you guys have to do me a favor. If you
Yes.
first off, you made it to this point of the episode, hit the like button. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. Because if I heard if you don't hit the subscribe button, your team will be cursed forever.
Look at my team.
Hey, Eagles and Sixers fans, and just Philly fans in general, y'all go do that right now. Hit that sub button. We don't need curses. Because I hit the sub button, and my teams haven't been too bad. We won't talk about the Flyers, but, I've had some, the Sixers made the playoffs last year, the Eagles. So if you guys hit the sub button, your team is not going to be cursed. Hit the sub button so your team won't be cursed. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell because y'all don't want to miss an episode. Y'all want to be notified every single time. And anyone watching in the premiere chat, I thank you for getting this far. Also, our channel links will be down below. Tell Isaiah died again this week. He's gonna get
I
revived.
killed him. I killed him again.
And if the government's watching this, he's not actually dead. Isaiah's asleep. So
Yeah, he is.
It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah, it's just
Next-
prank. Hey, MG.
next episode that Isaiah's on, you guys clown him for
Clown him.
being asleep and being tired and taking showers and doing what he does.
I want to say this: Isaiah cannot talk shit about me about falling asleep before an episode because he did the same thing today. But
Isaiah's also a guy. But
I
ladies
want
and
to say
gentlemen,
this before you
we'll
end it.
probably be back next week. What?
Go follow the TikTok, which is right above me, the username. Go follow the Twitter, which is right above B up.
And if-
Because I have not posted my reaction. I totally forgot my phone was about to die. But once free agency stuff, B up will post Cowboys, how he feels. MG will post Eagles. I'll post Packers. We'll try and get Isaiah to post Niners, but he's a weird one with Twitter, so we'll try.
Yes, subscribe to the Bin Podcast TikTok as well. There should be a new clip. At least I want to get a new clip on there from this episode. So, and also too on the TikTok, give recommendations. We're all not the most TikTok type of people. We should really
To do.
post on TikTok that often. So, give us recommendations for the TikTok as well. We'll keep posting clips that we like, but y'all give us some more recommendations and stuff like that. So. B-Hub, any last words for you, sir?
I know we haven't really talked about this topic today, but shout out to the Celtics, baby. 4th seed now.
Sixers got the dub against the Red Hot Man.
Hey, imagine not being a top 2 seed in the East. But let's finish it off.
Yeah,
What?
I don't care. Last year's show seeding doesn't matter when it gets to the playoffs. You guys win as the 3rd seed.
No, that's only the 1 seed it doesn't matter for.
Yeah, but y'all guys wasn't the 3rd seed, so being top 2 doesn't matter.
And the Raptors won it last when they were the 2nd seed.
Here, being top 2 doesn't. The best team matters. Seeding does not matter once
Exactly.
you get to the playoffs.
But anyways, let's wrap it up.
Also, I hope Stephen Curry heals very soon.
Yes.
People are blaming everything on Marcus Smart, but that's what you got to do. You got to box him out and go for the ball. He didn't try to attack his ankle.
Injuries.
It just happened.
It's part of the
Like,
game.
His foot was just in the wrong spot. I know Marcus Smart didn't try to do that. I know Marcus Smart's had a history of doing some weird things, like with the flopping and stuff. But honestly, this time I don't think he meant anything intentional.
Yes.
So- Hope all of the Warriors players are fine, and hope Stephen Curry gets healthy soon.
Yes. But ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a close. Hit the like, hit the sub button, all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we will talk to you later. But before we go, we had to keep the tradition. Piss off, cunts.